You've just been chased out of the centre of the Antifa protest.
Why would I have anything to say to you? All you do is lie.
Come on, Tom.
You've lost all the main thing that you do is lie. The British public no longer believe you. I've got a lot to say.
Yep.
Nothing to you.
That's it.
To the British public. Hold on, you've lost the faith. All you do is lie.
Would you have a ban, like Donald Trump suggested in America, would you have a ban on Muslims entering the country, new Muslims trying to have a home in this country?
I believe we need to protect the British public right now.
So what's the answer to the question?
British Muslims?
Yeah, we did. Yeah, the British public. I didn't say British non-Muslim public.
Right.
I said the British public. We've had.
Would you
ban? We've had
Tommy,
three
you're a
terror
straight
attacks.
Talker.
Children are being killed.
Yes, we all know what's been happening.
Yes, I would. I would stop.
You would ban all Muslims.
I would temporarily halt Muslim immigration to this country until we get a grip of the problem.
I think that if God sent a messenger, that messenger would not marry a 6-year-old and shag her when she's 9.
Yeah, but back then it was a thing.
But everything he did was perfect, wasn't it?
But yeah, he was perfect. He was
shagging a 9-year-old perfect.
Listen,
Is shagging a 9-year-old perfect?
No, it's not perfect.
You just said it was.
But back then, this is what they did. Back then, in the eyes of...
So Mohammed wasn't perfect then?
He was perfect.
But he shagged a 9-year-old kid?
But he's perfect, bro.
But he shagged a 9-year-old kid?
But that was the thing back then.
But you asked me why I don't believe it. I've just told you. I think that is backward, perverted and disgusting. So I think what he did is backward, perverted and disgusting.
How?
Because he shagged a 9-year-old kid.
Yeah, but... Back then, that was normal. You can record me,
Back then, that was normal.
That was normal.
You don't think that's wrong? Do you think that's wrong?
I think that's wrong.
So you think your prophet was wrong?
No, he's not wrong, because he's my prophet, obviously.
But you just said what he did was wrong.
Tommy Robinson, leader of the EDL. You can assert until you're blue in the face that these are peaceful protests, but your supporters were heard shouting racist abuse. How do you explain that?
What racist abuse? You know,
I can't say it
we've just been talking
now
about racism.
At this time on television.
We've been talking about racism. I'm from Luton Town. You're talking about racism, OK? There is no racial tensions in the town I come from. When David Cameron says multiculturalism has failed, Sikhism, Hinduism, Jews, they haven't failed to integrate into society. Islam has failed. When we talk against an ideology, if I'm against Scientology, are you going to call me a racist? I oppose the Islamist ideology. That does not make us racist. You can't talk about what we said that was racist, because there was nothing said that was racist at the demonstration.
But we've read the quotes in the press.
Yeah, in the press. When you talk about the press, you just said 1,500 people there. There were 7,000 people there. So you've got a biased press that are misreporting.
So more people chanting.
More people chanting. More people at the demonstration. But what is the press's agenda to play that down? And when we talk about Islamophobia, there is Islamophobia, of course there is. There is Islamophobia because our police force actually were too scared to tackle grooming and rape of our youth because of fear of being called a racist. That's Islamophobia.
Every single Muslim watching this video on YouTube, on 7/7, you got away with killing and maiming British citizens. You got away with it. Next time you think about it, you better understand that we have built a network from one end of this country to the other end. We will not tolerate it, and the Islamic community will feel the full force of the English Defence League if we see any of our citizens killed, maimed or hurt on British soil ever again.
Why are you here today?
Why are you here?
I'm here to ask questions of people who are here protesting.
Yeah, I can't really talk to you.
You can't really talk?
No.
Why?
Because I despise you.
You despise me?
Yeah.
So you can't answer questions because you despise me?
Yeah, because I might get angry.
You might get angry, and we don't want that, do we? Bloody hell. We don't want you getting angry. So come on.
That's funny, yeah.
It is funny, yeah. So, because I'm shaking here, but you're not free to just answer simple questions about why you're here?
Yeah, right, ask.
Okay, why are you here today?
Muslims are people. Islam is an idea.
Yeah.
Islam's an idea. A bad idea.
And
just because you want to call us racist or extremists or far right, what have I said that's racist?
I heard you on Radio Sport the other day saying that you are a peaceful movement, okay, and you are not against violence.
You still haven't explained what I said that was racist.
Have you actually looked at your own personal
You still haven't explained what I said about racism.
You've actually been convicted
you haven't explained
of thuggery,
what I've said
and you're
that
a
was
football
racist.
hooligan.
You'd be dealing with violent people expressing how far just want to just fucking get out of it. What are you doing? Get back. Arrest him for assault. 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 That's all on camera, so arrest him for assault. The violent fascist left. Kev, keep walking. Keep walking. The violent fascist left. The violent fascist left.
Gordon speaks to you. Gordon, now here. We need to speak to you. There's a piece of what's about to be said.
Okay? Who's been violent?
Right, listen.
We've just been you've got to nick these two numpties. How come he hasn't been handcuffed? How come he hasn't been handcuffed? How come he hasn't been handcuffed? If we'd have hit him, he'd be handcuffed. How come he hasn't been nicked? Yeah, but anyone else who's not spared. Why is he still standing? Why has he not been arrested for just smacking him in the face? What is going on? Why is he? Tell us why he's not been arrested. He's not been arrested. He's just assaulted someone. Can you tell us why you're not arrested? You're telling us we can't walk somewhere and they've just assaulted us. You're not going to arrest him. We will deal. No. Right, well, you're in the car. I'm walking. Unless you're going to nick him. Listen to me. Unless you're going to nick him for assaulting us. Right. Listen. No. Are you going to arrest him? Are you going to nick him for assault? Are you going to arrest him for assaulting him? You're not, are you? How can you not enforce the law when someone's just assaulted someone?
Can you listen to the senior officer here about the direction you're trying to
We're doing a charity walk, we're just being assaulted.
You're not going to arrest him for assaulting him.
We're doing a charity walk.
How are you not arresting him? How are you not arresting him?
We've just been assaulted. The man, they're still standing there, look.
We will deal with that.
You're not dealing with it.
Why are you putting your hands on me when he's done the assault? He's done the assault.
I'm not letting you go any further.
But how we've been assaulted and you're stopping us?
I'm not.
We've been assaulted.
No, they're not.
The officers are with
So handcuff him.
I can see
so why have you got your hands on us?
Because I am going to be arresting you.
You're going to arrest me?
You're going to arrest us for doing a charity walk.
I need to explain why.
So now we're getting arrested.
Everyone here is committing contempt of court if I'm convicted today. How do you feel it's going to go? I don't have a jury, do I?
Get the camera, get that out of his face. I'm just saying, get out of the face, mate. Get back in the face. Yeah. Hayden. How you doing?
Yeah, not bad.
Right, can I ask you what it is I've said or done, yeah, that even if you didn't want me murdered, what it is about me or what I've said that you feel so strongly against?
Just don't agree with what you do. And obviously that's no excuse for posting that, but I just disagree with sort of stirring up hate against minorities, against Muslims, sort of with the Westminster attack. I don't think you should have been on TV like after that.
Can you give me one example of what I've said or done that incites hate?
Well, just being a part of the EDL and street protesting against the whole of Islam, to me that's sort of, you know, just. I mean, I'm sure you've heard all these opinions before, but
so because I protested against Islam, you take that as stirring hate. But all of the media has said that I sent him direct messages via Twitter. I never have. That's a lie, complete lie told to the whole country.
You work for an alt-right organisation. That's the only thing that's fair to say.
No, it's not fair to say. No, right. I don't. I work for a media company in Canada called Rebel Media. Now the problem I have is that. When we're talking about what's radicalised this man, we had 512 people injured and 22 children blown to pieces. We had 48 injured and 9 people murdered. We had 49 injured and 8 people murdered. We had all of this in a 4-week, 5-week barrier. And you'd think what everyone's trying to do is make it down to the fact that Rebel Media sent this man an email inviting him on a silent march.
So what he did was, and there was evidence that actually he'd been looking you up on the internet quite a lot, and he had looked at and copied tweets, 2 tweets particularly, and they were on the dashboard. So you had tweeted exactly what you're saying. Where was the day of rage after the terrorist attacks? All I saw was lighting candles.
Can I ask
and the other one is anger. When a Muslim bombed our kids, we were told not to look back in anger. Yeah. What was the purpose of those tweets?
Can I ask you know the first message you just read, are you going to put a screenshot up of that on your screen? Because you've just completely took that out of context. What that was
was after Grenfell happened, far-left organisations were ordering, had a day of rage planned. They had leaflets calling for a day of rage. You've got that leaflet because that was part of that tweet, but you've purposely left the leaflet out of it, and you're making it sound like I said, let's have a day of rage. What I was showing people was the hypocrisy in our country, that when our children are blown to pieces...
in this trial...
What you've actually just done is misrepresented the truth of a tweet. That's what you've done on this show, on purpose.
Anger. When a Muslim bombed our kids, we were told not to look back in anger. What was the purpose of that tweet? Because that tweet was on the dashboard of Darren Osborne's van when he attacked.
Why are you not sitting here reading? Darren Osborne wrote the reasons why he done this attack. Why are we not talking about the reasons why he done this attack? Shall I tell you one of the reasons why he done the attack? What he wrote. No,
he obsessively looked you up online. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, all I'm saying is he wrote, terrorists march through our country today. There was an Al-Quds march. Now, the problem I have is that you're the BBC News and you did not report on that.
All I'm saying is, do you accept that there is a lot of hate speech about, and you've condemned that from other people, for example, Anjem Choudhury, who's now in jail. Do you take any responsibility for that being hate speech?
You think that's hate speech?
I'm asking.
No, do you think that's hate speech?
I'm asking you if it's hate speech.
No, it's categorically not. It's impossible. You have Muslims in this country, in mosques across this country, calling for the death of homosexuals, calling for the takeover of our country. That's real hate speech. Me saying don't look back in anger, me putting these tweets, is not hate speech in any way.
Hi, Paul. How you doing? It's Tommy Robinson. I just want to ask you a few questions.
The Islamic community will feel the full force of the English Defence League. It's a pretty explicit threat.
It is. Well, it's not a threat, it's a promise. We will continue to highlight these issues, and what you're seeing now, we're a pressure organisation, we're a pressure movement. We put pressure on the government, we put pressure on the Islamic community. I'm seeing now, more than I've seen at all, Islamic leaders coming out. I watched on the Big Questions for the first time where they're addressing these issues. They're saying the problems in the madrasas, the mosques, the mullahs.
Yeah, but you didn't say you'd raise it with your MP. You said they will feel the full force of the English Defence League. And you didn't just even say the Islamic extremists. You said the Islamic community, everybody who's a Muslim.
Because I don't feel the Islamic community have done enough to address these issues. I believe they've allowed...
Force is a threat of violence in any language.
No, it's not. That's you twisting the words. That's not all. Just the same way when we was introduced on here, you spoke of National Front. We don't have National Front in our organisation. You spoke of people being pictured doing Nazi salutes. Pictured, a photograph that's been manipulated. No videos of people doing Nazi salutes. Nazism, Islamism, opposite sides of the same coin. We oppose both. Yeah, but Nazism's been defeated, Islamism is spreading across this country.
The people listening to you did not think you were talking about writing to your MP. They knew, they themselves knew you were talking about violence. No, I mean, it makes you into a self-styled anti-Muslim vigilante group. That's what that came across.
Doesn't at all.
Get the fuck away from the camera. Get the fuck away from the camera. You tried to touch our camera. Yes, don't fucking try and touch the camera then. I told you that 5 times.
Keep your life.
I will keep my life. You're not going to take my fucking life. Well, you think you're going to take my fucking life? Take my fucking life. Right.
And you cannot, you cannot.
You see that?
And you cannot. Look.
You take the The only person you pushed was a woman. No, you was, but we'll show you the footage later. So you come here very aggressively, you've got over... Tommy, go on. That's what you get for being a fascist!
I've actually met you, George, in 2007, in Luton, actually. I went along to a respect party. It was on Dalla Road. I don't know if you remember.
I don't actually know.
No, well, you was holding a meeting. I went along, I brought a bird with me, and we went to see what the respect party was all about.
You brought a bird with you? What, a parrot?
Yeah, no, I brought a girl with me, and we come to the meeting, and as we walked into the meeting, there was someone stopped at the door, and as we were coming in, and they said, you need to sit this side, and you need to sit that side. And I asked them what they're on about. And I could see loads of Muslim men on one side, and loads of Muslim women on the other side. And I said, well, I've come with my missus, I want to sit with my missus. No, you can't. And I said, isn't your party called the Respect Party? Yeah. Or am I missing something? Because are you separating me from my missus when I want to sit down with my missus and listen to what your party's about? And there was another Afro-Caribbean man there who was kicking off at the same point because he wanted to sit with his missus. And that's when I just, in my own view, thought what a laughing stock this Respect Party is and why the hell is it calling itself Respect?
Well, that was just about as big a pack of lies as you claiming that your name was Tommy Robinson. Because no such thing has ever happened at any Respect Party meeting. But we're not here to talk about respect, we're here to talk about you. And in particular, we want to talk about the allegation by the police that you are extremist, violent, hate-filled behaviour and rhetoric is fueling extremism in our country. What do you say?
I think that, well, the police officer said that us going down to the sea, he didn't word it the way you've just worded it in any sort of way.
I've got his quotes here. If you want me to read them out, I will.
Yeah, go on then. Because I don't remember him saying a hate-filled rhetoric. I listened to it this morning.
It says, violence and intimidation are unacceptable wherever it comes from. You can't tackle extremism by being extremist yourself. You don't prevent hatred by being hateful yourself. That's what the police minister said.
Okay, well, as I said this morning when I spoke to someone about this, September 11 was our fault, 7/7 was our fault, the last 1400 years of Islam being at war with non-Islam, that's our fault, everything's our fault. It's the work now.
What do you know about the last 1400 years of Islam?
Now it is the work.
Your knuckles are dragging the ground.
Show some damn respect for people's religious beliefs, right?
I should show some respect for a book that incites murder against me. And
put it down.
And calls me. This calls me an animal. No, I won't put it down.
Whoa! 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 No beds! No beds!
Grab it! Get in!
Go on, then you've got something to say.
What have you got something to say?
Come here. Hey, fuck you.
What have you got to say? Huh?
Oh, God. Oh, God. No.
What do you mean?
Say something then.
Pussy. Go on.
Yeah, I know, man. I'm lucky to stop from that, bro.
Oh,
Go on, remember my face, yeah? Welcome to Luton. Did you get that on camera? Hi, I've just been attacked in Luton Town Centre.
You recently retweeted a Britain First video about fake news, media lies and distortion. That, by association, it does associate you with an extremist group.
I recently retweeted an article on ISIS. It doesn't associate me with them.
Well, was the article pro-ISIS?
No, it was showing the facts about ISIS.
Right. Well,
this video was showing the facts about the media's lies about what's happening on our streets.
It's the facts as seen by a hard right group.
But that's nothing to do with me. Again, I'm not here to talk about that. I'd be here to talk about myself and the demonisation of people like me by liberal elitists, by media, a campaign that's gone on for 8 years. In the last 2 weeks, if I've had to go to 4 properties...
No, you said that.
Because this has gone on for 10 years against me.
Right.
I'm streaming. I've been arrested for breach.
Are you arresting him?
I've been arrested for breach of peace. You've all watched this. You've all watched this. You've all watched this. You've all watched this. Can you get me a solicitor? Can you get me a solicitor?
Can you just turn off your live feed?
Can you get me a solicitor?
Just turn off your live feed, please.
Yeah?
Do you understand what I just said?
No, can you explain it again?
Arrest on suspicion causing a breach of the peace.
What does that mean? What does that mean? What does that mean, officer? What does that mean? What does that mean? What does that mean? What does that mean?
I've been told that under the breach of the case.
Not at all, he's never said that.
That's the information I've got.
I'm inciting people. I'm inciting people.
His video
How have I incited people?
He hasn't.
This is free speech. This is where we're at. You're not even allowed to. Look at this.
Look how many people...
Man, what you try and hide. Do you know when you do this? More people.
The only sharp things are lighters. Just let him do this.
More people are going to watch this now than ever. This is ridiculous, lads. Do you feel right what you're doing it? I haven't said a word. In fact, someone laid their hand and assaulted me outside court.
Yeah, exactly.
Other people swore at me and threatened me about my mother, and here I am being arrested for saying nothing.
I'm threatened to behead me.
I've done nothing.
You've not said anything about
What are they arresting you for, Tommy?
Breach of the peace. Apparently, I'm inciting on my video.
They're Saif al-Islam. That one there. Yeah, he's the leader. Yeah. What? What have I got to talk to you about? What have I got to talk to you about? What have I got to talk to you about?
What to say about Islam and that, innit?
Yeah, I have, yeah.
Yeah? So why didn't you say it now?
What do you want me to say?
Yeah?
It's a ideology. It's got no place.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's got no place, bruv.
And what you
Sharia
got?
law's got no place in
What
this
you
country.
got?
What do you mean, what have I got?
Go on, tell me,
What
innit? What do you
have I
stand
got?
for?
What do I stand for?
Yeah, what do you stand for?
Integration, bruv. I don't stand for paedophilic practices, yeah?
What do you stand for? Go on, tell me.
What do you mean, what do I stand for? What do you stand for?
Racism,
How's it racism?
Eh?
How's it racism? How's it racist to oppose a fascist ideology?
Fascist ideology.
It is
And what
fascist.
do you... You're racist.
How am I racist?
You hate Asians,
what
yeah?
race? What race are Asians? What race are Muslims?
I heard. Come on, Clown. Where are you running away from?
Oh, because I know what you like, bruv. You have about 100 you in a minute. You fucking little chief. You fucking chief. Prick. You see? That is Islam. You fucking little prick. The thing is, you get out of this car, they'll be here from everywhere. Watch. Watch how many of them now turn up. Watch how many of them now turn up. I'll do your window up so you can't get out, because I'm telling you, look. Fucking pussy. Watch when I get with your fucking houses, you fucking mug. Fucking tramp.
I just want to know where he's from.
What news bureau are you from? Sky News. Sky News.
Are you interviewing me?
No, yeah, I am. So, have you seen the video? Have you seen the video? Oh, what's the matter? What's the matter? Come on.
I've seen the video.
So you've seen the video. So do you think he was inciting legislation?
Sorry, who are you from?
I'm from the British public who want to ask questions. So because you obviously give your portrayal of the media. So what do you think?
We're reporting the news.
Do you think
we're reporting the news?
Can I ask you a question as a personal person?
Were you in court?
Do you think?
Were you in court?
Yeah.
What was said in court?
No, I'm asking.
Were you in court today?
Do you think he was inciting religious hatred? Do you think it was a joke?
I'm reporting what's said in court.
Do you think it was a joke?
I'm reporting a court
case. No, I'm not
case.
being horrible. I'm just asking you.
Yeah, I don't have a view on whether it was a joke or not.
You don't have a view. No journalist in the UK has a view because you're not allowed a view.
I don't have a view.
You're not allowed a view? You don't have a view.
It seemed like you had one outside the court when you tried to make him feel...
I was asking him questions.
Yes, I'm asking you questions. So simply...
record
it. Did you watch the video?
I've seen the video.
You've seen the video. So do you think it was a joke?
I don't take a view on it.
You don't take a view?
I've watched the video as part of my research.
Yeah, and do you think it was a joke? Because the way you're portraying it all, and 3 million people...
Why does it matter what I think?
Because I want to know when... Because when you...
I'm here to report a court case.
I'm just wondering what sort of, like...
I will report what was said.
I'm just wondering what sort of integrity...
I'm reporting a court case.
I'm just wondering what sort of integrity... Can I finish?
That's as much integrity as I need.
I'm wondering what sort of integrity you have to watch something, know it was a joke, but then come and try and grill someone outside court and give them a bit of hard time, as though it's something it's not. As though it's something it's not.
Is that a hard time?
Is this a hard time?
Yeah.
This isn't a hard time.
No, so...
This is Tommy Robinson, former leader of the EDL, asking me questions.
Yes, it is.
Outside Airdrie Sheriff Court.
That's exactly what it is. Yeah. But you won't answer questions.
And this is a weird time.
And this is a journalist from Sky News who helps to push lies about people who won't answer one single question. What's happening here is, lads, yeah? 20 lads with balaclavas have turned up, yeah? 20 lads with balaclavas have turned up. I'm 5 feet in front of them, and I'm fucking 5'6", and not one of them is doing anything. That's what's happening here. Look at them all. Look how many of them there are. Yeah, I'm here, all 5'6" of me. Look at the little 5'6" man, and there's fucking a bunch of. There's a bunch of absolute fucking wankers. You coward wankers. If any of you don't want to do something, do something. If not, take your balaclavas off and fuck off. You fucking wankers. You pussies. Look at you. You fucking wankers. Look at you. I'm standing here, bro. I'm standing right here. Do something. Do something. Do something, you little bitches. You pussies. Do something. If I wanted to beat you up, I'd beat you up right fucking now. If I wanted to, I fucking would. You fucking mug. Look at you. Look at you. Look at you. Look at you. If I wanted to do something, I'd bang you out now, but I'm not bothered. I'm out having a beer. You turn up with your balaclavas on and you do fuck all.
Morning, Mr. Lennon from ITV, Matthew Hudson. Funny I'm talking to you at some point.
Do you know, can I tell you something? Yeah. I face a contempt charge, yeah? For doing exactly what you just done to me now. Exactly identical what you just done to me.
Clearly I couldn't comment on that.
No, exactly. I'm being prosecuted by exactly what you've just done.